not to affirm how weight you stayed up, how much love you put on the pages, but know that there are people like us who will step across lines of differences. They will put their pride aside, leave your pride in the parking lot, is what I like to say, and to take a shot.
Now let's get into it. What's my time? That took me 10 minutes. That took me 10 minutes.
Writing, you have your writing, revising, editing, and publishing. We don't need the University of Kansas to teach us this. We learned this in primary school. But did you truly unpack how to deliberately complete the writing process? It's not easy being in a classroom of 30 different kids. It's not easy being a language arts teacher and having children follow along closely with students like me in the class ready to distract. And you try to make light of just how important this process is. When you think of pre-writing, can anybody identify that snack? You know what snack that is? Cheese. It's my favorite snack. It makes me feel good because they're baked and not fried. So my mind is like, oh, you're good, eat another one. But really, it's the routine. It is the happy place that you create. As you write these words on the page, find joy. Find it. Because that feeling of, I can do this, I'm so into this, it will wear off. You're not going to write this book overnight. You're not. As much as I want to tell you can do anything you put your mind to. This is a marathon, people. And you need to identify the music that you like, the type of pens that you like to write with. Anybody know what kind of pen that is? It's a G2 pen. I love that pen. It's a fountain. It's like a quill. See these little things that I trick my mind into working harder, into staying in the fight. Look at this picture. Does anybody remember Hurricane Dorian? And how we all braced and we all were just, oh my God, it's coming our way. And it stayed over the Caribbean. It stayed over Abaco, Bahamas, the Great Bahamas. It stayed there for days. We did a mission trip at Barry University. We went and built some desks and helped some teachers rebuild schools. But what am I doing at 6:37 in the morning? We're writing. Look at the background. Do you see evidence of some kind of catastrophe behind me? That lets you know how in the zone you have to be. We've all got kids. We've all got distractions. We've all got social media. We all have these things that seep into our minds and make it more difficult. But you've got to develop a strong sense of drafting, a strong sense of discipline. You must be ready to identify your strengths and weaknesses. You must be a great writer. You must be a great reader before you can become a great writer. If I could use the same 3-4 simple, complex sentence structures over and over, I would, but I'll lose you. I'll lose someone in the process of reading the book. So we have to take the moment and figure out, well, how do I diversify not only my words? It's not just about playing the thesaurus game, but creating a puzzle, making sure your sentences fit. You must be ready to revise and revise, have multiple mediums in place. That computer is nice, but have an iPad, write notes on your phone in between the bus or in between classes, a journal. You know how many journals I have? Anybody ever seen that movie, The Butterfly Effect, with Ashton Kutcher? Oh my, he went back in time because he had all these journals. That's how I feel like my life is going to be one day. I have all of these journals and all of these ideas. You have to get them out. Will every joke land the way you want it to? No. Will every plot twist? Absolutely not. However, you must understand that in order to keep your reader engaged, you must string them along, little by little. And you refine your skills through the editing and the proofreading part. You're paying your editor. Let me repeat that. You are paying your editor. Your editor is not your friend. Your editor is not your cousin. It's not your sister. It's not somebody who's going to tell you what you want to hear. Because I swear, if you go down that road, you will introduce something to the world that just may not be up to the level that you wanted it to be at. Find someone who has a bit of a pedigree behind them, who has an inkling of how children's literature or romance novels or whatever it is that your niche is. That's how you identify a strong editor. Let's get into publication. Worth the wait. All right. This is not a linear path. I want you to understand that. You can create timelines, you can have goals, milestones, all you want. But know that there will be mistakes, there will be things that you will miss, but you have to prepare yourself. You have to be patient, be excited, be anxious, but always approach your writing, your revising, your publishing in a safe and happy and a quiet place. Because there's nothing worse than you putting that book out into the world and someone writing a little review. There were errors everywhere. Because there's some people who look for they look for errors. I've had people pull me to the side, family members. Was this a mistake, Mike? No, that's how I wrote it. Let me go back and read it. But people will do that. And we're all proud of what it is that we create. But you got to put some behind it too. Identify your village. Your village, your village, your village. Whether it's your spouse, whether it's your son, whether it's your mother. Find those who make you the happiest. And I'm not telling you to find somebody who's going to tell you a bunch of feel-goods. That's nothing wrong with that on our lowest days. But find someone who's going to make you better. Who's going to be able to pick up some of the slack. Because you're going to be in a funk sometimes. And I'm not going to say you're going to become this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde character. But there are going to be times where you may feel inadequate. It is a company, it is a platform that brings people together like us, the clients, and people who we need things to get done for us. Our freelancers, our illustrators, our graphic designers, our animators, your editor, they're all out there. In the moment you create this post, by the time you go to sleep, you'll have 5, 10, 20 proposals. In the moment you wake up in the morning, you'll have 15 proposals. He'll be like, I don't even know who gave. That's a good problem. Now you need to do your research. We need to go through each character one of their proposals. On Upwork, when you create a job posting and you look for that animator or that editor, they're going to give you their portfolio. So you're going to have full access to see what they can create. You can't ask an artist to copy something and do it again. You have to see it in your mind and know that your words and characters can be connected to their race. Fiverr is good. Haven't really had much success with Fiverr, but I know people who have, so I repeated it. Upwork. Encourage. Check it out. Oh, it's free. Well, they get theirs back. They get theirs. There's always a fee. Oh, there's always a fee. But Upwork will put you in the position to meet people all over the world. Do amazing things. I'm on illustrator number 6 or 7, editor number 3, animator number 4. So yeah, it's out there, you guys. Not just making this up. This even a sample of one of the job postings that I made. Alley the alligator. That's the nicest in our program. We don't want to give people away our intellectual property, right? We definitely want to do that as self-published authors. And then be ready for them to tear in shreds. Be open-minded. Be ready for feedback. I'm not saying concede and let everything go in the trash. But, pick your battles. What do you really believe in terms of what you wrote? That you feel like, this has to stay. If I had to clean it up, well, so be it. Your illustrator. Oh, I got in trouble a lot as a kid. That's my mom back there. Hey, Mom. I got in trouble a lot. And one thing my mom and my dad did, they take the TV away, they take the game away. And I was just one step ahead. I have a radio or something. I'd have something that kept me busy until they were into me and I had nothing but a pad and a pencil and a window that faced the backyard. I've always been a doodler. And I may not be that good, but I can get my thought onto the page. What you want to do when you hire someone to do this work for you, know that every second, every minute, every message back and forth is time, and time equals money, and we all have a budget to make it. So I guarantee you the easiest way to accomplish an illustrator, if any of my children's book owners, if you're writing a novel, that's cool, but I guarantee you're gonna have a cover page. You're gonna have a title page, like you're gonna have some kind of art in there. So you can roll the dice with ChatGPT and prompt it 20,000 times if you'd like, or you can take a moment and open your heart and just try your best to sketch. And then that will turn into this, and then ultimately it'll turn into that. It takes a lot to get to that, but this is how it starts. This is literally the same picture. And this illustrator, oh man, I love her so much. She lives in Germany. That's okay. Oh, she's gonna beat me up. Oh, she's gonna beat me up. I wasn't ready to talk about her. I wasn't ready. Oh, it's not some of the. It was Kate. It was Kate. So K.E. Katarina, she didn't know what a parasail was. That lets you know how real this end is. What it is that we create, the relationships that we build. I used to think that I could live on an island, I could do it all by myself, until I failed over and over and over again. And I will not fail or continue to fail at this game. It is always a privilege for me to be with a child. So know that you have to be ready to break things down, because some people could live on the other side of the world and they may not know what a parasail is. You have to be ready to break this down. The really good small things. These may be really small to you. They're really actually rather big. Your ISBNs, your trim sizes, what's going to be the size of the book? You know, they say the smaller a book, the more serious you should take it. I don't know how true that is. When I think of some really important books, they're kind of small. Is your book for a traveler? For someone who's going to roam the land and they want to keep it in their back pocket? Or is the book for a kindergartner or a preschooler? And the book needs to be big and colorful and vibrant. Will it be a hardback, a paperback, hardcover? You should always have a hardcover to pay with that. Board books, concept books. What is it going to be? Your dedication page. Who are you going to thank? Remember, there's a power in being an author. We have the power to make people immortal. What we put on our pages lasts forever. So I always tell people, hey, watch how you treat me. I'll make you a character. You better stop me. I'll put you in my book and you won't even know it's he. But at the same time, let it serve as a reminder of that dedication page. I think so often, so many of us kind of overlook that, but it's incredibly poignant. The cover page starts as a doodle. We sketch and we etch and, oh, maybe this will look good. Maybe that'll look. What is the saying? Don't judge a book, yes, they will judge her. They will judge her by the cover, sadly. So remember, you get what you pay for. Cover template, you'll see this in Ingram Spark. This is the #1 distributor of book distributions. Luckily, Ingram Spark is our best friend as a self-published author. There's hundreds. There's Lulu. There's Amazon, KDP. Wait, I think I have a slide. Give me a sec. All of these print-on-demand companies, none of them are paying. I mean, they're paying their royalties, but none of them are print-on-demand companies will automatically put your book in arm's reach for curators around the world. My books have been to continents and countries I've never been in. It's on the languages of websites I can't even read. And it feels amazing to know that someone actually believes in us, as introverted as so many of us are. But to see that affirmation makes it all worth it. Oh, it feels better to catch someone with the book in their name. I skipped something. What's my time? Look at that. I'm like 5 minutes. Oh, lovely. Well, I want to save some time for Q&A. ISBNs. Tricky. Spend a lot of time figuring out ISBNs. Still, try to wrap my finger around it. If you do Amazon, KDP, or Ingram Spark, they'll give you an ISBN. They'll give you a complimentary one, they say. But do you think you own that ISBN? I don't think so either. And while the majority of my books, yeah, before I started buying them, but then I started to think more on it and like, the book in its entirety is to be mine. I don't think anyone's saying like, oh, well, that's my ISBN, blah, blah, blah. So if you can play either way, your first book, I know the budget's tight, just take the complimentary. It's fine. I've been doing it for 6 years. Nothing really beat me up, but I went off to buy my own ISBNs. They're a little pricey. Valkyrie, they have the game capitalized. They have the marker card, undoubtedly. You spend about $300 for 10 ISBNs. How many ISBNs is your book gonna need, you think? Close, close, close. You'll need two. You need your paperback and your hardcover. Those are two different books. It's not the same book. It's not. It looks like it's the same, but it's not. The size, maybe the trim size, maybe similar, but you're going to upload two different manuscripts, two different copies, and it has two different ISBNs. We all put what ISBN is, right? I'm sorry if I glazed over that. Your international standard business number for the book. It's identifiable by the entire world. If you do not put ISBN on your book, then it will not be taken as seriously as you like it to. And there's nothing worse than spending time and money and being in front of someone's face that tells you it ain't good enough. This is an industry standard. This is a joke. This is a hobby for you. It's like, no, this is my job, bro. Stop. What do you mean? I stand for this. Dinner trim size, we talked about that. I leave that up to you. But as you continue to work your way through seeing your book before you spend all this money to print it, get a ruler. Draw that out. What's a 6x9? But find your favorite book. Nothing beats market research. Find your favorite book. See what size that book is. Find your favorite 3 books. Find the best-selling book. Find the top book of the 1990s or whatever your genre is. That's how you play the game, guys. I'm not telling you to be a copycat, but you do need to see what the world has already credited as successful. When you find that, that can help you in your style. Trim sizes, more trim sizes. Costs. Oh man, it's the fun part. Oh man, I can tell you about money coming in, money going out. I think the most exciting one is money going out. How much are the books making? How much do the books cost you to make? Well, just like the eggs at the grocery store and the cost of ground beef these days, it's going up. It's going up. Where can we start? We probably can't see that. So I'll just tell you like this. Let's say my hardback book, either one of the King Montics, it costs about $9-10 to print for the hardcover. It's jacketed. It's, I put a lot into it. If it was a paperback costs like $3 to make. $3, $3.50. You gotta see the margins. So okay, we can play that game. Because when you come to a place like this where everyone's selling books, you're gonna sell your book for $30. You think it's gonna sell? No, it's not. Unless it's that good or you're that elusive. But more importantly, when you think about your royalties, it's nice to have a book on Walmart. It's nice to have your book in Barnes & Nobles, but how much are you making? And you set your prices within your print on demand. You can make pennies on the dollar, or you can say, I want 80% of everything. Well, then what curator is going to invest in a book that they don't know is good then? If you have your price point set that, there's wholesale pricing as well, it gets a little sticky. And you have to be ready for $1.50 compensation or $1.20. You have to be ready for that. But if you're a hustler, if you keep books in your trunk, if you build relationship with librarians, school districts, nonprofits, organizations, they're going to buy the book directly to you. And now guess what? You just become the middleman. And that means you keep all of profits. So there's so many ways to play this game. That's beyond. That's part 2 for you guys. Right now, you just want to bring to the world what you have in your heart. Let me land the plane. When you work with your illustrator, you will ask them, hey, I need you to create a PDF file. I need to upload this as a manuscript. I need my manuscript and I need my cover page. Ingram Spark will give you a template. It will tell you, like, if you have an illustrator, follow these guidelines, yada, yada, yada. The book will get revised. And that's amazing. It's like, yay, 6 months. I did it. $3,000, 6 months, quiet tears by myself. You did it. But you know what the fun part is? You haven't done anything yet. Not in terms of making that money back. Not unless you have your foot in the ground and people are just salivating for you to release the next book. Typically doesn't play out like that for our self-published authors. You have to operate with a little bit more humility. And that's okay. Because that drives me. That gets me up effort in the morning, tiptoeing around the house, trying not to step on the dog. I don't care. Because we have to get to the point where people believe in what it is that we create. You have to engage. No one is going to push your book. You have to do it. Dan Brown, he wrote the Da Vinci Code. He had a really, really great masterclass. Check it out. Really great masterclass. He talks about do everything, even if it's for free. 6 years. It took me 6 years to get on this stage in front of you all. I don't know what you all see when you see me, but know that it took me a long time just to get to this point. And it took thousands of these. You think they paid me? No, Mr. Woodward, we'll send you the teams. Like, that's when I was Mr. Woodward. So then they really thought they could get over. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Of course, yes. Because you don't really have a choice as a self-published author. You need people to believe in you. We live in a day and age, if it's not on social media, it didn't happen. And that sucks. But I have met people who have hired me, paid me nicely, and I say, after the phone conversation, I'll say, well, I'll send you my press kit. I'll send you my Instagram. And they'll say, we already went through all that. It's terrifying. This life that you are choosing to live. Relationships mean the world. Oh, sometimes I just think I'm too cool for the world and I just want to just watch Top 10 over and over and over again. Unless the offensive player. Don't get that. But I will sit there all day and shut the world out. And that is not okay because that will not get you to where you want to be. You have to create a brand, create a logo, create a tablecloth. Even if they got black tablecloths on the table, thanks so much, Miami-Dade Library. But you put your tablecloth over it. You never hesitate to. People come to my table and they say, are you the library? I said, no, these are all mine. Create a brand. It sucks, but you got to post. You got to keep posting. You got to ask people, can you take this picture for me? You get to the point where you give the money that you made that day to the person that you got coming to take your pictures. But if you don't find someone to tell that story, who will? Get people in place to find you. I love story walks. I've had different stories. I think this was at Flamingo Botanical Gardens. They printed out one of my books. They put it on different sticks and families. They walked the path of the book. And it was one of those beautiful things I ever said. Create a website, be active on social media, give people a card. I know cards are old-fashioned. I get it, but so what? Marketing materials, be careful with this. I spent money on flyers that had misspelled words. Oh man, not gonna make so many mistakes. So be very conscious of the budget that you create. And do everything, even if it's pro bono. This was at Surfside, under the stars. I showed up to this like Thursday night extravaganza. It was music, it was food, and here I call my little wagon and like 6 books. And they're like, do you want to read on stage? And I was like, nobody want to hear what I have to read. And I doubted myself in that both. And it turned out to be one of the most memorable readings I've ever had under the stars for the beach. In this place we call home. Remember, never ever forget, what it is that you create is this immense responsibility that few people are going to check you. That's the eerie thing about self-publishing. Yeah, you have an editor. Yeah, you have all these people that check you. But it is about your author's integrity and understanding that children need windows and mirrors that reflect their experiences or teach them of other people's experiences. Dr. Rudine Bishop, she teaches us that books need also to be sliding glass doors. Children must be able to step into the life of a place or a person that they've never met before. Thank you all so much for this opportunity, just for this time to share, to be vulnerable. I'll be here for the rest of the day and you talk one-on-one, but hopefully I didn't talk your ears off. If I didn't answer your question, then I think you have time for Q&A, but if it's a tough question, just come ask me in my ear. Stand firm.
We have a few minutes. Does anybody have a question?
Don't be shy.
Oh, hi. I'm also Thapi native. So thank you so much for coming. So my question to you is, can we talk a little bit more about building the relationships with schools, districts, nonprofits, especially if you're giving advice to someone who's not in the space of education quite yet?
You know, it's a beautiful question. Thank you so much.
That's a tough one, but I've never been a Miami-Dade County teacher. Thankfully, my wife is. She's helped me a lot with people at her school, but when you're trying to get to the top, the mountaintop, the curator, the person who's in charge of all the librarians, what I've come to realize, you must be fearless in cold calling and cold emailing, shooting your shot repeatedly, But you also must continue to create and build upon those relationships and ask people tough questions. Hey, can you just give my book to such and such? Can you? And that is one of the toughest ones, to give away free books. I'm very conflicted because I don't come from much. So I'm very thankful when anyone gives me anything. But know that every time you give that book away, that's $11 less that you have, or 5 plus shipping and handling. And it's a long way back to $3 grand. So when you think of the relationships that are worth savoring, which are all of them, how are you going to keep them warm? Do you have a newsletter set up? Do you have some kind of reoccurring touch point? Are they following you on Instagram? Are you writing them and tagging them and remaining relevant? I think I get my greatest success off my sense of relevance. And I informally ask people, how did you find me? How did you know where to find me? Oh, I saw your post on Instagram. I just typed in Miami male children author and you popped up. So you're going to have some handouts that come from not having a relationship at all. But imagine what happens if you have the same organization or entity hiring you each and every year. It's getting to the place where I'm starting to see the same people. And that's cool. They're like, hey, you want to come back to Vizcaya? I'm like, duh, of course. Yes, that's the power of relationship. So even when you get there, you want to be kind, you want to be thankful. All these people, they look at me like I'm the expert, I have all the answers, but I'm still the first to say, yes, ma'am. No, sir. Pretty please. Can you help me? I don't know. Because when you tear down that wall of difference between people who are there to make good of what it is that they stand for, and they recognize that you stand for the same thing, then you've had to piss them off for them not want to help you, or they're just mean, and some mean people do exist. We're not going to write that as. Thank you. Is there something else?
I do have a question. How can someone tell the difference between a book idea that's not ready yet and one they're simply afraid to begin?
Say it no more. It was good. I know you've been sitting on that question. Say it one more time, bro.
What's the difference between a book idea that's not ready yet and one you're just simply afraid to begin?
Ooh. I think, ooh. That's a rift. To me, that's a paradigm, because you have perspective and the reality that the book is not ready. There are factual errors. It does not have a dedication page. You don't have an ISBN. These are boxes. You can't deny that. Now, when you start skating the line of, it's not ready, I don't think it's good enough. Now you're battling your own demons. And when I tell you all, I meet these people over and over, rich, poor, black, white, Hispanic, area code 33168, area code, it doesn't matter. I meet these people who have their voices left unheard. I've met so many people who have held on to stories for years, not because it wasn't good enough, but because they were afraid. Have no fear. Be fearless. If no one likes it, so what? You accomplished what you believed you could do, and there are so many more people who won't even try. They will talk to me over and over, and we can do small talk. We can do that. But I'm going to cut it short, and I'm going to ask you, have you written anything down? And that's where the truth is revealed. It's a very beautiful question. But again, for me, it is, what are the facts? Did we check all of the boxes? Is the book ready? Or am I simply just being, I don't want to say afraid. I could be guarding what it is that I truly don't even want to sell. And that's okay. Because you got somebody like me who grew up and just thought that this is just how the world was. And no one felt the way that I felt, which is how each of us feel in some way. I'm a bundler. I like to bundle things. I like my illustrator. No, the illustrator keep them with the colors. You worry about the color palettes. Keep the editor worrying about the words. But if you can find an editor who can format as well, you've saved the money. You have a relationship built. And remember, once you get these people and you found like, ooh, my Cinderella, my shoe, you keep them. You keep them. I've had illustrators fire me. They say, Mike, no, I can't keep up. I'm done. Because I don't even wait. I don't even wait for post-publication. I'm writing the next book. Because once you're at a place where the manuscript is tight, you're kind of just waiting. You're waiting for the editor to give you the bag. You're waiting. I don't wait. Because first of mine is going to come around regardless. without waiting on.
On that, I think we're gonna finish, but you're gonna stay around to Siesta. You can buy his books, you can hit his signature on them, and he'll answer your questions one-on-one. And then there's a whole bunch of authors downstairs right below us. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Check out my YouTube. A lot of these presentations in their full length, the history of children's literature, the 10 most powerful tips for writers. I did a little bit about this presentation that's recorded. It's on my YouTube, free of charge. Thank you all for the time. I know that wasn't free.